AITA for not wanting to attend a family function because my cousin always talks about their political beliefs. I never thought that my cousin's political beliefs would drive a wedge between us, but they have. It's not that I don't respect her opinions. But I just can't stand the constant political chatter every time we get together. Our family has a tradition of getting together every year for Thanksgiving. It's something we all look forward to. Everyone brings a dish. And we all gather around the table to share a meal and catch up with each other's lives. But ever since my cousin started getting involved in politics, the atmosphere at these family functions has changed. At first, it wasn't so bad. We would have the occasional conversation about politics. And I would try to be respectful and listen to what my cousin had to say. But as time went on, it became clear that she was very passionate about her beliefs. And she wanted everyone to know it. She would go on and on about the latest political news. And it seemed like she couldn't talk about anything else. I started dreading these family gatherings because I knew that I would have to sit through hours of political discussions that I had no interest in. I tried to change the subject and steer the conversation towards other topics. But my cousin would always bring it back to politics. Last year, I reached my breaking point. My cousin started going on a rant about a political figure that I strongly disagreed with. I tried to keep my cool, but I couldn't help but speak up and voice my opposing opinion. That's when things got heated. My cousin accused me of not understanding the issues and being ignorant about the facts. She said that I was part of the problem and that people like me were holding the country back. I felt attacked and hurt by her words. I didn't want to argue with her, but I couldn't let her insult me like that. After that incident, I made the decision not to attend any more family functions where my cousin would be present. I just couldn't handle the stress and tension that her political beliefs were causing. I explained my reasons to my parents and other family members, and they were understanding. They said they didn't want to see us fight and that they would try to keep politics out of our conversations. But as Thanksgiving approached this year, I started getting anxious. I knew that my cousin would be there, and I wasn't sure if I could handle it. I tried to convince myself that I was overreacting. But the thought of spending hours listening to her talk about politics made me feel physically ill. As the day of the gathering arrived, I found myself getting more and more nervous. I tried to prepare myself mentally and come up with some strategies to avoid any political discussions. But I knew it would be difficult. When I arrived at my parents' house, my cousin was already there. She greeted me with a smile and a hug, but I could feel the tension between us. We tried to make small talk, but it felt forced and awkward. As we sat down to eat, I noticed that my cousin had brought a dish that was decorated with a political slogan. It was subtle, but it was enough to trigger me. I felt like she was deliberately trying to provoke me. I tried to stay calm and avoid any political talk, but it was impossible. My cousin started talking about the latest political news. And I felt myself getting more and more agitated. I could feel my blood pressure rising, and I knew I had to do something to avoid an argument. That's when I excused myself and went to the bathroom. I took a few deep breaths and tried to calm down. But when I came back to the table, the conversation had shifted to a topic that was even more triggering for me, the topic of gun control. My cousin was passionately arguing that everyone should have the right to own a gun. While I firmly believe in stricter gun control laws, I tried to stay quiet and eat my food, but my cousin kept pushing me to join the conversation. She said something along the lines of, "Come on, don't be afraid to share your opinion. We can agree to disagree." That was it for me. I couldn't take it anymore. I snapped and told her that I was sick of her constantly bringing up politics and that I didn't want to talk about it anymore. My cousin looked shocked, and the rest of the family fell silent. I excused myself from the table and went outside to take some fresh air. I could hear my cousin's voice from inside the house, still talking about politics. I felt like I was going crazy. Why did she have to ruin every family gathering with her political beliefs? When I went back inside, the atmosphere was tense. My cousin avoided making eye contact with me, and the rest of the family didn't know what to say. We finished our meal in silence, and I left shortly afterward. Now, I can't help but wonder if I was in the wrong. Maybe I overreacted, and I should have just tried to be polite and listen to my cousin's opinions. But at the same time, I feel like she was the one being disrespectful by constantly pushing her political beliefs on everyone else. So, I'm turning to the Reddit community to ask, am I the asshole for not wanting to attend family functions because my cousin always talks about their political beliefs?